Power Rangers, Power Rangers, Supercharged. Power Rangers, ready, set, start.
Hey everyone, it's the creator of the Power Ranger Supercharged series, and today I'm going to be presenting to you the profile for the Red Gasoline Ranger. So, before we get into anything, I'm going to A, be giving you guys some lore, and B, I also want to let you guys know that the human characters specifically in this were all AI generated in regards to their looks. Any likeness in regards to their physical looks or their personality is purely coincidental. None of this is meant to actually represent someone in real life. This is just what I imagine that they would potentially look like. So, that being said, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that I want to make sure everyone is aware of is that my entire series takes place in a fictional city known as Granha City. In other words, the city of farmers. So, that being said, let's get started with the profile review. So this is my character for the Red Gasoline Ranger. His name is Raymond Princeton. He goes by the nickname of Red, specifically because he loves that color and is the color of the Zord that he drives, Red Gasoline 1. Now, he is a very cocky, entitled kind of person, a very know-it-all kind of person. He thinks he already has everything figured out in regards to life, and he makes a lot of his money out of street races, legal ones, mind you, but he doesn't really have a stable job, and it's only because he just loves driving so much. He thinks he's the greatest racer in the world, but of course, that can sometimes come into question. A lot of the credit goes to the Zord that he actually drives that he inherited from his father, who is a retired ranger, but he loves to kind of get into feuds with him, kind of, show off in front of everybody. But he is still a pretty good racer regardless. It's just that he doesn't really think that he needs to give more credit than is deserved towards the Zord. Anyway, the more important thing here is that he is the trigger for all of the events that actually happen in my series, because in this world rangers do for a fact exist, but because they have not been needed in so long that they're now just kind of laying low, like just try not to draw any attention, because we've been through all these years without any kind of major threats to the planet, major threats to the populace at large. Just go ahead and lie low. Don't activate any of the Power Ranger abilities, and more than likely, we won't be activating any beacons potentially for someone to come looking for trouble. But in a race, a high stakes race where a lot of money was on the line that he was about to lose, he felt the only way that he was potentially going to be able to win that race was by activating the booster on the Zord. So because he did that, it triggers all the events that happen afterwards. So that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at everything else. First thing we're going to take a look at is the design of the Power Ranger suit itself. This I generated using a template program called Hero Machine. It used to be an available Adobe Flash type of program where people could use different templates to create their own characters, villains, heroes, suits, all that kind of stuff. So I was luckily able to download that Flash program, so I'm still able to have access to it and modify it whenever I want to. But this was the final design that I made on there. And then this is the AI generated reimagining of that suit. I wanted everything to stay as close to the original as possible. And thankfully, I was able to manage that. So, as you can see here, he has a silver fire kind of trim around the visor, and the fire emblem that's on the suit itself that represents gasoline as a power source for vehicles. And of course, 01 marking him as the leader of the team, or at least his father was the leader of that team before he retired. Then, here is his power key specifically. It's the one that I built, and as you've seen in previous videos, all of my keys have the ability to light up. This is just a picture of it not lit up at the current moment, but this is the AI representation of that. I think this did a pretty good job of pointing out the pointy corners that I have at the top of the key specifically, and making it still look pretty close to the design that I had originally. and having that one in the middle was very important. So that being said, next up is Red Gasoline 1. This is the Zord that I built. You may notice that it is now lighting up behind the glass. I've made that adaptation to all of the Zords. So I'm going to be making one final video in regards to that to show all of them lit up at one point. But that's for another day. In the meantime, this is what the Lego version of it looks like. And this is the AI reimagining of it. I just love the look of this so much. It really pulled in all the correct elements of the vehicle. And even though it has some of these blue neon lights on it, I don't want to get rid of that actually because it's a nice contrast. It gives it more character, if that seems right. That it's not just all red all the time. Like this belonged to someone else who wasn't so obsessive with that one color specifically. He just coincidentally was a Red Ranger. But anyway, so that is the Red Gasoline 1 Power Ranger profile. The next video will be going down the lists. So you'll see 2, 3, 4, and so on until we get all 7 taken care of. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and may the power protect you.